I know. Yeehaw Bob is the man.
Yeehaw!
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're the Dis-Idiots. I'm Dozer. That's Brian. Down there is Bruce.
Wearing my Disney swag.
Fancy.
I know.
I'm wearing crawfish boil swag.
Killer Clowns, baby.
Shocking. Bruce is in a horror themed shirt.
Every day is horror.
Every day is listen, it is Halloween every day in this household.
It's true.
Mr.
I've been
Morg.
there.
Hold on, I need my comfort pillow. Hello, little boo.
Oh my god. You have a little boo.
I also have one of the woven blankets, which like no one has.
What is the backstory behind Little Boo? I never.
Okay, Little Boo was just a pumpkin they created for the trick or treat. When they did the trick or treat scare zones, they had pumpkins all in the trees. They always have pumpkins in the trees, but they want to make new ones.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they made this little cute pumpkin that just looked tortured. It just had this tortured looking face. Well, fans loved it where it was placed, so they called him Little Boo. When they did Wicked Growth Realm of the Pumpkin last year, Little Boo at the big entrance with all the pumpkins around it, Little Boo was eye level to everybody. Couldn't miss him. They put him front and center. And again, people on Instagram, it's just like HHN Bear. People,
Right.
when HHN fans love something, they promote the hell out of it. And because of that, then this year they were like, classic Halloween. It's the 31st year. Little Boo is one of our mascots.
Yeah.
So Little Boo was on the sipper cup, which I have. Little Boo was on everything they could put him on. Now a lot of it was kids stuff, like the blanket I have has Little Boo on it.
Sure. So
that's why Little Boo.
So he's pretty much now officially a staple to HHN.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Little Boo.
The more you know.
Halloween horror facts with Bruce.
That should be a weekly segment. Mr. Halloween Horror Nights down. They give us a little.
It basically is. We just don't have a sound to it.
I give what updates I can. You know, news, rumors. You never know what's going on.
Well, speaking of updates, what kind of Disney updates we got?
We got Splash Mountain is going splash bye-bye very quickly.
Yeah.
And the water. Don't forget to pay your 100 cups for your little thing of $100 for your little thing of water.
For heaven's sakes, people.
I've seen it up as high as 200 for a mason jar.
I don't need the thing of water. I just need them to make a highly chlorinated perfume because I just love the smell of all. Doesn't matter. Splash Mountain. Folks, go to your local theme park. That highly chlorinated smell of every log flume. I love it.
Should it be like Kramer with the beach? Just call it the Splash.
Yeah, the Splash.
So what you need to do is you need to take that. You got to put it in a tall candle, scented candle. We're going to make this. And then you are going to put Brer Bear and Brer Rabbit as painted as saints on it. And that's what you light every Deus Des Muertos. And
Well, I have actually bought these Splash Mountain scented candles. It's just not the same.
I know. I've bought the I think it's the Magically Scented Candle Company or something like that.
Honestly, the Dole Whip is fine because it's pineapple. How can you mess that up?
Right. Like I have the Rome burning one. It's like firewood. It smells like Rome burning. But I have the Pirate Water one, and it doesn't smell like Pirates of the Caribbean. It smells like soap.
The ones that get nailed very well are all the hotel scents.
Yes.
Tangible.
But there's something important. Like, yeah, you could go to these companies and buy these overpriced third-party candles of it. But you could also just go to the company that makes the scents for the Disney hotels, most of which are Woodwick brands of candles, and just buy the candle they use.
You know what's funny? The scent of Disney hotels is something I know what it is. I don't mind it, but it's just not something I'd be like, oh, I want to smell that all year round.
In a funny thing, Bella has little jelly shoes that we tell people they smell like a Disney bathroom. They go, ew. I'm like, smell it. It smells like a Disney bathroom. That distinct cleaner they use in it. You're like,
yeah.
It's like, oh,
Eco
okay.
Labs.
There were at the co-op marketplace. I actually I burnt the candle. I used it up because it just smells so good. It's the company's called Bose, Bowes. I got their candle that pretty much is their comparable hotel. I mean, we stayed at the Coronado Springs, and I wanted to find that specific smell, and it was like, what did they say? Oh, it was during the 50th celebration, so they had the 50th smell going in, so it was a distinct smell for the 50th. Those candles sold out like that, but they did give me another smell that was very comparable, and my God, it's heavenly. It smells so good. Like it's out. Like I have to buy another one.
Meg got sent for Christmas a Woodwick candle that is the scent of Vero Beach.
Ooh,
Nice.
And not only is it like dead on because it's the actual candle, it's so powerful. You light
really?
the whole house smells of it with one candle.
Interesting.
And it's Woodwick.
Woodwick. Now you know. There you go, folks. Woodwick candles.
Yep.
Sponsor us, Woodwick.
If I had the scent on me, I'd say what it was, but it's upstairs and I ain't getting it.
Ugh, might as well be in China.
Yeah. But I'm not surprised they're tearing it down quickly.
They have to.
The tear down's fast. Building is slow.
Yeah.
It's always easier to tear it down because you don't have to have thought. Unless you're repurposing any of it, which they're not, just get rid of it. And it's good since they have a time frame for this project. They really want to stick to hit the ground running.
Yeah, rip it out. Especially since, unlike when America Sings went down and all, this stuff isn't anything that's going is not being repurposed.
And if it is, the stuff that will be repurposed is already. That's why I think the Brer Rabbit hopping animatronic is being repurposed because that was gone very early. I don't think that was just broken. There's no reason to move him. He's just here. You don't have to move him like some of the others. I think they might want to keep him for prosperity someplace,
or repurpose him into a frog.
Could be anything. Oh yeah, it certainly could be.
I'm curious to see how many characters they're going to recycle, if they're going to use any of the animals.
I don't only because
not like the Brer Bear. Like
no. I know you talk just like the regular animals.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it's one of those. I maybe one or two here and there, but with the wear and tear on them, it probably isn't well. You're gonna have to refurb it anyway. Why not just build new ones?
Yeah, I think they might just keep the skeleton and then just
I'm sure they're gonna have a couple here and there. Don't get me wrong.
No. I'm talking about just the track. I think. I mean, if anything, you might be right. They may just, because of the wear and tear with everything, they might just say keep the bare bones of this attraction and just start from scratch.
That's what I've thought because other than that, this is an absolute demolish. We'd have gigantic walls up, not just things people can see over. Also, part of it is if the way it is, unlike certain attractions, America Sings. I'm going to use Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. No one has to see it get taken down. Space Mountain, you could take it down. You could do things in there no one would know. It's so public. If you don't start dismantling that mountain, and say they wait two months before touching it, you're 2 months in, you haven't touched it. That's not a good look. You want to make sure get the mountain down as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Even if they haven't touched a thing inside the show building.
Correct. Smokescreen. It gives people oh man, they're on top of it. After what just happened with Tron, again, a lot of things going on with Tron with the tunnel we've talked about before, but you don't want to see a project sitting there stalled for years.
Well,
and years.
It's not even just a project, but it's also the location of where Splash Mountain is in the park. It's not something where it's outside of the park that they're building to add with Tron, for example. You kind of had it like somewhat adjacent outside in an area that was kind of out of the way from walking paths. Splash Mountain, you kind of, to get the Big Thunder, you kind of have to walk through Splash Mountain to get to Big Thunder. So yeah, I could see why they want to really basically double down and start tearing this up as fast as possible, because if they were to like gut the whole thing out, they would have to like reroute walk. It would be a nightmare, absolute nightmare to walk through.
There's backstage issue. There's a lot that goes into this. But remember, they are willing to pull down a huge line eater for the summer.
Right.
They don't want this to go. They're willing to do this for an entire year. They have a plan here. We said that from the get go. Why isn't it closed earlier? They were now we're ready to enact it, and let's move.
Everything is probably most of the shit is built. It is truck, install, test.
They've been They built the animatronics. They've gone through their testing. Because it's a water ride. Let's get them in. Let's test it. Let's make sure everything's rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
We want to make this has to be perfect.
Heck, the Frozen transfer, which I think is a smaller,
that's another
thing,
example.
So like over a year to do.
Yeah, and because I remember when we went on that, I wanted to enjoy myself riding this ride for the first time, but it kept bothering me. We're in the queue going, okay, where was Mail? Like, I'm trying to remember like the old Maelstrom attraction, because the way where you enter is actually the exit of the old Maelstrom attraction.
The Maelstrom attraction didn't change.
No, but like where the boats got off, that village area, like where the theater was, like that's now all part of the queue for Frozen.
Yes, well but I'm saying the same thing with Splash Mountain. The base plan didn't move an inch.
No, but I'm just curious to see, like, once, like, what I'm excited about with Tiana is how is the queue going to be set up differently?
It will be. There's a reason it will be. There's one thing you hit it on the money, but there's one thing you're not thinking about. It has to be set up differently. Somebody say it. Come on, somebody say it.
Character integrity.
ADA accessibility.
Oh, that too.
There are stairs in the middle.
So
that's right. Yeah, they would need to find ADA accessibility.
I think they're going to find a way to make it a lot. That's why I think you're going to have to change. You're going to have it a lot more accessible.
I just want more indoor queue, because I remember like on a really, really hot day in the middle of summer where people are just standing outside, not inside, out in that little courtyard area.
You'll know that fast. You'll know that's very fast. You'll know that very soon.
Okay.
Train.
Yeah.
Until when they put the wall up, you know they're doing something with that queue.
Yeah.
So
the train, which also that's a cut you off, Dozer. Something I saw online. I don't know if they said there's already a homage to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. They say we're almost there. And here we go. We're almost there. I don't know if the train always said that. It's been a while since I've been on it. But that's what they say. There's an homage already to Tiana's, because that's the big song, Almost There.
Yeah. So what I think will be the big X factor in getting this ride off is how they decide to tell the story of Tiana, because technology has come a long way since Splash Mountain was built. And we could run into the same issue they ran into with Frozen, where now you are dealing with a ride with show scenes that are much more timed, and they're not just the constant cycle of Splash and Pirates of before.
Right.
Well, that's an interesting point. If you read the description for the attraction, technically, this is not the story of the movie. This is after. Well, I'm just saying, remind that for those people don't know. Yeah. That's a big thing here with the Frozen, or it could be a retelling told from the Lightning Bug's point of view. That's the one thing I heard.
I didn't hear it was Ray. It's actually, from what I heard, it was the crocodile.
Could be Lewis, but again, I don't think it is. Tiana. I think it's all afterwards.
Can't be Ray. Ray's dead.
Yeah. I'm aware. Yeah, Ray's dead. Someone else is also dead.
Yeah.
And
he's not dead. He just went to the other side.
Which look, I'm telling you this right now. If that's not the song going up the main hill, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be because that like.
I actually had a different idea going up the main hill because it's a different attraction. Have the dig a little deeper. Clearly, your ending.
Yeah.
Probably one would think. If not, dig a little deeper is going up and in, and then it's Welcome to New Orleans is the end scene there. But I would think It's the instrumental of Dig a Little Deeper, the gospel getting. I think again, we're not like Guardians out in California. Instead of how I don't think you're gonna have scary. I think they don't. I don't think they want to do that because they did have a lot of guest complaints about that. I think they want something exciting, like oh boy.
Friends on the Other Side will be the laughing place.
That's what I've thought.
Because it's also, even I get it. It's not the retelling of the movie. It's its own thing. But it's also the midpoint of the movie. It's not the climax. It's
True.
not.
And that part's already dark already.
Yep.
Yeah. That is true. I don't know, but then again, like another part of me thinks if it is a sequel from the movie. Now I know like Frozen Ever After is still technically a sequel from the first movie too, and they use the same songs from the first movie. But if Disney really wanted to be truly creative and do something unique, how about original music with the ride? Because
I still think that's and that's kind of I think that's a possibility.
because
I'm
that's
curious-
kind of even though Zippity Doo Dah was from Song of the South, I'm pretty sure all the other songs from that ride were original for that ride. I think the only song was Zippity Doo Dah. I don't think Laughing Place was in Song of the South.
But this is where you run to an issue. What do the people want? I think they want. I think you'll have an original song or two, but I think that will be cue music. I think in the attraction, I think they want the movie stuff. I could be wrong.
Oh, the cue would absolutely have the cue music do instrumental songs from the movie, like play the soundtrack instrumental as
Reverse it. I don't know. That's the curious. I agree with you. I would love original music. I'm curious how they're gonna do if they're gonna do that though, because I think they have a more when this whole thing was being planned.
IP.
I think they want to go with the IP, even if it takes place after the movie, which you could have a mix of both. I think they may have originals, but I think those big hits.
Oh,
the big hits almost there. New Orleans, the main one, New Orleans. Dig a Little Deeper, possibly Friends from the Other Side. Hey, you can always resurrect the villain. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh no.
I'd also support Keith David being involved in everything. So
I have a feeling the ride will probably start and end with Down in New Orleans.
That's what I'm thinking. Because that's how the movie goes.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be cool if, again, this is like me being a Disney Imagineer, but now that we're getting essentially the first New Orleans themed attraction in Walt Disney World, minus the resort, if they do some sort of homage to the beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean with like that same guy, like the guy out in Disneyland where you have the guy on the swamp in the bayou and you hear the banjo playing, like have something like that. Some like whether it be like in the queue or like before the like right when the ride starts, like kind of where Brer Frog is.
I'm actually thinking it would be in the first part of the queue.
Because you're in the swamp area.
You're in the swamp area, walk through the bayou before you get to downtown New Orleans.
And they already announced like there's already signs up for some sort of restaurant outside of Splash Mountain too. So they're actually building a restaurant with Splash Mountain.
With Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Yeah. It might be quick service, but still they're going to have some sort of French bag or not French baguettes, but the baguette. Beignet. That's it. Beignets.
So
honestly, it's probably gonna be like beignets, Monte Cristos.
You judging me? Yeah, she's judging me. She heard me say that too. She was like, "Oh,
I mean, a lot of
she's
people
your wife. It's her job to judge you."
Well,
he's right, and a lot of people heard that though. So
yeah, that's true. But they do sell baguettes in Disneyland.
So I have a baguette story. Our first trip to Disney, Meg and I we were drinking around the world. We started in Mexico, as one does.
Yeah, sure.
And by the time we got to Italy, we ran into some people going the other way. Didn't know these people. They were 21-year-olds, completely shit-faced. And the guy's just standing there holding a whole ass baguette in his hand. Like, hey man, you gotta have the baguette, man. They're great. They're fabulous, man. You gotta have the bread. And we're just like, You're shit-faced.
Yeah, because you're supposed to start in Mexico. Liquor before beer.
And then we got then we drank an entire pitcher of sangrias in Italy.
Nice.
Delicious sangria.
Nice.
So, but that's my random baguette story. No,
You love stories involving bread, don't you?
I do. I love bread. This is a body built by bread.
Oh my god, I want a shirt that says that. Body built by, or built by bread or something.
So they'll get that done. It's going to be difficult thematically placing it in Disney World. You have this random slice of New Orleans.
That's the thing. I don't think it's going to look like New Orleans. I think it's going to look. I actually expect the turnaround to be covered.
Okay.
Possibly. Like the big the turnarounds, possibly. Maybe not the second one, depending on how you do, because that one could be a little more bright. But I think the first one could be covered.
Well, and I think it might. I mean, this is also. I don't know. It could be a stretch. I don't know. But if they wanted to, now with them doing that is like a swamp bayou, not really New Orleans, but more of the swamp area, you can maybe now update the riverboat attraction too, because it could be the storyline for the riverboat can, like, the dialogue can maybe be
land isn't changing there.
You're in Liberty Square when you get on, though.
I'm not saying the land. I'm saying the audio recordings and do a different storytelling, because you have a black boat driver talking in the audio, singing "Old Man River."
I think they'll probably get rid of that, but if they don't, because that's technically a complete separate area, they probably will. They probably could,
but I mean, they're gonna have to, because if I remember the audio, they actually talk about something about, like, that mountain up there, the waterfall with all those darn critters up.
Like, and that's what I was gonna say. They probably mentions did mention Splash Mountain, so it's probably going away.
Yeah.
Also, Old Man River has to be sung by a black man. Sorry, it just does.
I know, but it's still, I know, and it's that time period, but that could be the next thing on their agenda.
I think it already it's not the next thing on their agenda. It's coinciding. You have to, because you want to mention the attraction, and that could be how they cover things.
Right. Okay. And they could do a little nod to say something like, they might do it, even though it's Liberty Square, they might have a little section called Bourbon Street or something to kind of tie in New Orleans.
Quite literally can't.
That is not happening, because one, it's not even in New Orleans. Like,
true,
we're not even close to the.
I know,
but you could call it the Bourbon Street Marketplace across the way, just in case. I think you could. I'm not saying they will.
Also, we're talking about things that their changes are going to coincide and all. Part of this change probably has already happened if there's a direct reference to Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know. I've taken a wild guess that not many of the YouTubers we watch that are reporting stuff are riding the riverboat frequently.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have to go and find a recording, but I'm like
probably 95. I would think you're right. They probably got rid of it already.
Because that would just be twisting the knife for some people.
Yeah. And also, false advertising in a way. You don't want a little kid to go, what are they talking about? You're right. It's probably gone. They probably have something's almost there. Again, they could have something referencing, not flat out saying, but referencing the Bayou attraction that's coming.
I haven't heard anything about the Riverboat Adventure. That's why I was like, no one's really said anything, but I'm pretty sure there's a dialogue recording in there talking about.
If you polled most guests, they're gonna tell you no audio played on the boat, right?
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, but that's what's going to happen. They're going to be like, what? Audio played? When? It's like, oh.
Yeah.
And my guess is the change in the train's audio was there the day the train reopened.
That's what again, it's hard to say if it was a change, but that's what I was thinking. It was just one of those, hey, we're doing it now anyway, because why not?
Why are we going to keep referencing Splash Mountain? It's here for another week. it, you know, but while we continue our grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom, we come up to Tron with its lack of a line and lockers and
Mm-hmm.
Hey, looking like it belongs at Epcot.
Yep.
Folks, if you
More and
haven't
more.
seen, they put the Tron Light Cycle Run sign out, and it looks like it's the land. It looks like it looks like a pavilion out of Epcot.
Yeah.
Giant pathway sign, nowhere near the right exact entrance.
This honest to God should have probably been what they should have done is just gutted the Wonders of Life Pavilion and put Tron right there. Because that way it would be part of World Discovery. It would be adjacent to Guardians of the Galaxy. You had Test Track right on the other side of the area. It would be right there in the pavilion. And they would have two IPs right next to each other in World Discovery.
Unless the Guardians show building took up too much space over there. Yes, I agree.
Show building took up too much space.
Yeah.
That massive thing.
Yeah.
Massive? No, that's like mild answer is calling it massive. That's damn if Dan was a show building.
That Ron Jeremy building.
That building where when you park.
How you? I looked at it. You broke it. You broke Brian.
Oh God.
But the truth is,
the Ron Jeremy building. I'm gonna start calling that now.
But he's not wrong though. You quite literally. How can you hide that? What color are you pointing? Saying, "What are you just going to put a giant sign that says, please look away. Well, you don't see a building here."
And see, what's sad is like when we got to Epcot and parked our car, usually because you would see Spaceship Earth from the parking lot. And that would always be kind of like the whole, oh, we're here. This is exciting. Like, let's head to Future World. But no, my eyes, and I wasn't even trying. My eyes went right to Guardians. It's like, holy shit. Like,
2001: A Space Odyssey actually played in my head as I'm like, Bada! I'm like, holy guac. What is?
It's one of those things where
no, you had the wrong response. 2001: A Space Odyssey finishes, and you go,
woo! Yeah. Like, it's honest to God, I think it's one of those buildings that it's so massive that you literally have to see it for yourself to tell people, like, this thing is ginormous.
For a show building at Disney, there's no longer hiding it. You can't hide. And I've been a fan of that for years. Why are you trying to do this? You can't. It actually, to me, is exciting. What the heck is in that? That's the Guardians roller coaster? Well, we got to go on that today.
Yeah. But it's just a shame that it's now taking the spotlight away from the center of Epcot.
The way they designed it, though, I kind of actually like that. So then when you get to the front entrance, it's now a different view of it.
True. Because when you get to the entrance, it's like that show building is not there.
If you're on the other side of the parking lot,
yeah,
we're not having this conversation.
Right.
You're still seeing the building. You're going, wow.
Yeah.
But now you're on the other side. You still see Spaceship Earth and everything.
Right.
It's a big building.
It is.
Tron's a big ride.
Tron is a big ride. There are lockers, mandatory lockers for obvious reasons, with the style lighting on the light cycle, but they operate like the Velocicoaster. Put them on one side. When you exit, take them out of the other. It's automatically free for someone else to use. So no bad.
So it's set up in a way where if you're not on the ride, you can't use it.
Correct.
So it's Velocicoaster setup.
It's Velocicoaster setup. However, there is a compartment for your phone, for a smartphone phone to fit in for, I think, a video. If you want to like video yourself on the attraction.
See, what they should do instead of having photo ops is to have maybe like a minute-long video clips on the seats in front of you.
It's both. You can do this. This ride's going to have video and photo.
Okay.
Because the style of on the light cycle.
Right.
Trying to think of other things. It's obviously a lightning lane purchase or
Virtual queue.
Virtual queue. I almost said not standby. Thank you, virtual queue. Those are the only ways to ride it. Same style they've been going with due to popularity.
Right.
Now, the one thing I wanted to bring up, because have you guys? I've obviously seen them. Have you ever looked at how the restraints latch?
Stupidly.
Yeah.
Okay, this is one thing I truly, truly believe. What is today? Today is February 2nd. If they're not testing this with people in a week, they will never get this working right. Because
cast members are already like behind, like slowly being tested to ride this ride now.
But not more than that.
You gotta be fast.
Not just fast. You need to. I think this is one you need to specifically find a nursing home and bring them all in to ride. Maybe don't send the train, but that getting grandma on this, getting little Johnny on this, when you lay down, you have to physically pull back and it puts a restraint in place.
Right.
I'm sure they have a way to do this. This is going to take a while. You're going to have people have no idea. You're going to have people, what? I can't have my backpack? You're going to have all sorts of people. My phone, get it in the case. It's not locking in.
So, my guess is, as you walk through at the end of the lockers, because theoretically, I don't know.
I was joking about the backpack thing.
Yeah.
Someone's going to be there to stop you from that, obviously.
Yeah, you're not getting past the lockers.
No. But you're not going to get past it. But still, you're going to have people who aren't going to. Where does my phone? Okay, the phone goes here. It's latched. Now I got to pull down a lock in.
I picture for this to work on the way in. There's a lot of TVs, just giving you that video graphic.
But there's the elephant in the room. Sorry for lack of a better term, but the elephant in the room. When do you pull people? That's one thing I'm questioning. Obviously, there's a test seat someplace. When and how do you pull people? Because otherwise, you're going to have, we can't get it locked. Get them out of here. And then you're going to have some asshole having a breakdown.
Many times. And my biggest curiosity, will this fit bigger people than Mario Kart?
I don't know. Thank you. I have no idea.
Which, I know we mentioned it last episode, but it needs mentioning again. The weight limit size for Mario Kart is 40.
Honestly, I've argued this point for over a decade now. Why they build all ride cars the same? You built it for a Japanese demographic.
Yeah.
You didn't build it for fat ass Americans, just like a certain roller coaster company, Intamin. Builds it. Well, no, over here this fits everybody. Well, maybe build it for people. I'm not saying everybody, but a little bit of wiggle room here.
It'll be interesting, but and another interesting thing about Tron. So long ago, I heard somebody say one of the biggest follies Disney has ever made was building Tower of Terror and Rock and Rollin' at the end of a long dead end. And then I've begun to realize this is a folly they've made several times.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly.
You have Splash and Thunder.
Yeah.
2 e-tickets, dead end. Now you have Tron in Space, dead end. Why do we keep building these? Like, I get it. E-tickets need to be
on the
periphery.
Right.
But you don't need to build their entrances next to each other. Creating a butt funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Literally on top of each other.
Yeah.
While we wait for Tron, we gotta. My time's not here for Tron yet. Let's keep riding Space Mountain. Buzz Lightyear, take your pick.
TTA. Or Miles from Tomorrowland. Because apparently that is a TTA themed show.
That's something.
And you know who's half the cast? Because this is my best thing in the world, is no one ran. He is literally, like, half the characters, Diedrich Bader.
Really?
I love Diedrich Bader. Good for him.
That's awesome.
You read through the cast list and you go, oh, Diedrich is this, Diedrich is that, Diedrich is this. Okay.
He's a great actor. I love him. I think he's fantastic. Good for him. Glad people like him are working.
Do you think they might do something to the TTA with tying into the show?
No, the show's already over. It wasn't as big as the other things, and the TTA ride and this show, like, they don't go together. The TTA exists in this show as just a conglomerate. There's no people mover. You don't even see them build transportation.
They're space and sprockets.
They're just they're just referenced.
Yeah. They just call themselves the TTA. So,
well, let me ask you this: do you think, because there's been heavy rumors about the Tomorrowland Speedway being a Tron attraction as like the next phase? Do you think their vision is to turn Tomorrowland as a Tron theme?
Well, by the way, you mean like getting rid of it, right?
No, I don't know.
Get rid of it. Just
Not,
get rid of it.
I think they're talking about, I don't know. Maybe just get rid. Yeah, I mean, if they get rid of it, that's a huge chunk of land to put.
Get rid of the gasoline alley, for Christ's sake, please.
I mean, that would be nice.
Tomorrowland running off internal combustion engines.
I think it'd be funny if they just switched to like electric vehicles.
I mean, no, I will say this:
Tomorrowland Speedway sponsored by Tesla.
If they did get rid of it, I would be a little sad, because that's talk about nothing I won't bottled up. The smell of the Speedway.
Yeah, I don't know, but
some gas.
I've just been hearing potential rumors that they're looking at, because
those were rumors, because there were original rumors where they were going to get rid of Speedway and put Light Cycle Run there and have the space next to it for another attraction. Not that I'm making a third movie, could be, but then I heard the rumor was the opposite. That has been around of getting rid of it, or I'm sorry, not getting rid of it, repurposing it, making it Tron themed.
You're right. I've been hearing that, and then also, if you notice, some people are looking at the entrance to Tomorrowland eerily resembles Tron style architecture from the grid, so people are like thinking, maybe.
If they're making a Tron themed, all they're going to do is slap more blue neon on everything. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. A Tron theme only exists at night.
True.
It's been one of the biggest problems with Tomorrowland forever. It only looks really good
at night.
It always looks like crap during the day.
Yeah.
And also, having a Tron theme overall poses a sort of having it just Tron theming in that section I see being, but like a Tron theme overall.
Because you would have to redo everything. I mean, like Space Mountain would have to have some sort of Tron overlay theme.
That can't happen. It just can't.
They're so reluctant to touch Space Mountain with anything.
But yet, Disneyland's okay to do like Hyperspace Mountain and Ghost Galaxy.
Global gas.
They are so remember, they were supposed to lift off the dome and gut the whole thing.
That's true. They did. There was that speculation that they wanted to have like
not
speculation. Well, yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm telling you, I know for a fact these plans were in motion, going to happen. They were so scared to pull space. When they found out how long they were going to have to pull Space Mountain from, they went, abort.
And Space Mountain is a much worse ride than Splash.
Yeah, it was. By the way,
did somebody find something racist in Space Mountain to get them to tear it up?
It's funny because that was the problem. They thought it was going to take a year. They found out it was going to take 2. They refused to do it.
Oh, I got it. I got it, Dozer. I got it. The stand-in, like the mannequin animatronics, they're all white males. It's not in. They don't have.
That's not a big enough thing.
It's not diverse. It's not diverse. They need to have like a minor, a female.
I hate to say it. There's only one way for us to get rid of Space Mountain, and it ain't good.
Tragedy. Yeah. Or tragedy, technically.
Or Somebody drops enough stuff, it gets caught in something, and kerplunk, kerplooey.
Or there's a fire. Um,
They're getting pretty good at putting out fires at the Magic Kingdom.
Uh-huh.
no, electrical fire, old wiring. You know.
Yeah, but even then, it's one of those. Listen, if we can't get rid of the Matterhorn, I'm afraid we're stuck with this too.
It's the whole question: how do they get rid of the under new management with Iago and Zazu? I mean, you know what I mean. That kind of
I'll be honest
fire.
with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. That is, I'm gonna use it. I mean this fire.
Yeah,
That was a fire,
and that's what I'm referring to. A fire.
This fire was tick 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 chink chink. Guys, we got this. Just change it back. No one will say a word. We're gonna say it. Fired.
So
Right at the time that Gottfried was in shit for something.
It was a tsunami.
well,
He was making fun of it, in a lot of Affleck's clientele were in Japan.
ooh. But no, I'm just thinking for Space Mountain, the kind of the whole fire where it's ding 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 ding, oops, kaplunk.
Well, that's more what would have to happen. I
Yeah.
think if the entire attraction just broke beyond repair,
Yeah,
they have no choice. They broke to the point of we're gonna have to gut the whole thing anyway. Well, what the hell? Let's just fix it. Let's just make new.
You know, it is the Space Mountains and the Matterhorns of the world that make me more and more upset when you hear things like, oh, well, we're sorry. No, Dueling Dragons was retired because it was at the end of its service life.
Oh, it was all right after litigation. Oops, did I
Yeah.
say that out loud?
It's just, to me, I get so frustrated because that's not the only. You just hear it's at the end of its service life. The first tubular steel roller coaster's still running.
right. Yeah.
Drakenfire.
You either built it bad or you maintained it bad. It is not at the end of its service life.
Chiller, Drakenfire. Should I go through more mistakes that were at the end of their service life?
Oh, Chiller.
I forgot about Chiller.
The Bat.
Oh,
The Bat. What was that? 3 seasons?
Legendary Viper.
oh my
Viper.
god.
Yeah, the Bat. It was 3 seasons, and I think it ran a total of 15 times.
It's one of the rarest credits you can have.
It really is. It was closed all the time.
Oh, speaking of that, hey, Dorney's getting a new roller coaster apparently.
Yeah.
They're putting the plans in
Yes.
this week. Early next week is what I understand.
And do they know who's the builder?
Mm-mm.
All we know, we have like the rough civil survey for Whitehall Township approval.
I'll put it this way. History says it's B&M.
It's Cedar Fair, though.
Yeah.
They've been working with more people.
They have, and that's what like history would say B&M just because of Dorney. But you're right. For all we know, it's an RMC.
RMC maybe. You know why Dorney has so many B&Ms? This is an answer I actually know
No, I
pretty
don't.
well. Because the biggest issue they fight building any new ride is noise complaints.
So that's why Vacoma's not in the park.
And B&M is by far the quietest roller coaster manufacturer.
Minus the roar, yes.
Yes.
But you're right, even the roar compared to the rattle, rattle, clank, clank. Oh my gosh, is this thing gonna fall apart?
Right.
Yeah.
Do they still have that original Intamin drop tower?
Oh yeah. They have the demon drop.
Oh my god.
Oh, I used to love that at Great Adventure.
I love demon drop. It's such a
So good.
the ending on your back. You're like, this is awkward. Could you imagine if that was Tower of Terror?
Oh. Oh yeah, no.
And how far we've come. We went from landing on your back to tilting forward while you drop.
Yeah, I don't do drop towers anymore.
Except for Tower of Terror. Do you not do Tower of Terror anymore?
That's no, I'll do that.
That
I don't
doesn't
consider it
count.
a drop tower.
That doesn't count. He's talking,
Yeah,
like, the big
Dominator.
boys.
Yeah.
100 feet. Oh, no. Okay, here's the thing with Dominator. Me and my family are down there. My dad convinces me to go on, calling me chicken. I'm acrophobic. I hate heights, but I love drop towers. We get on. It's Paramount, and it's still Paramount at the time. So movie music is playing. We're a quarter way up the tower when Titanic's My Heart Will Go On starts playing. I turn to my dad and go, it's a sign! We are doomed!
Hey, I mean, yeah, what would be worse is...
By the way, not to cut off, Brian, finish that story. And this is how my dad goes, what song? The song for Titanic, I say near, and then I got an entire thing. For where and we're all singing now, My Heart Will Go On. And I'm like, I just got a drop tower to sing this song. My life has peace.
Well, I was just going to say, it's like, at least it was that song from Titanic and not the song that the quartet was playing while the ship was sinking. That was it, near my God to thee or whatever.
It's a movie. Yeah, luckily.
Where you're up there, you just hear that da, 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 da.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is really heartwarming. Oh boy.
So I don't know what ride it is, but I have found TikToks, and literally, it's a drop tower that for some reason the dispatch guy is at the top. You go up and he presses a button and releases you.
Huh.
I don't know what it is, but he has TikToks of him trolling the guests. He'll sit there and he'll be like looking at his thing. He goes, "Oh, hold on, I gotta check your restraint." Walk around, and it drops him.
I love that.
That's almost like, oh man, can you imagine? I think YouTube does one like that where it's like Thug Life or like a boss or whatever. It would like freeze frame the shot with like
a boss.
Like the shades would just like come
Yeah.
down and it'll play like rap. That's what. Oh my god, that is funny.
And then after they drop, he just looks like, "Got him." I'm like, I don't know what this guy is, but it's funny as hell. I don't know what ride it is.
What theme park?
We'll find it. We will find it.
Yeah.
What drop tower dispatches from the top?
That's true.
And like they ride up there. Like there's no way to load people up there. Like,
is it like steps that they climb up or
no? Like I think they load at the bottom, it goes up, and then there's another guy to press the button to drop it. This ride makes no sense to me.
Interesting. While Bruce is looking that up, I'll be right back.
I'm trying. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to find it.
Yeah, but he's a good guy.
Maybe if I can find. Let's try this.
I find weird shit on the YouTubes. This is riveting. Brian leaves as we're looking stuff up. Now I got to fill dead air.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able. I'm not gonna even try. I'm not gonna be able to find it. Oh boy. Do you see this? In France, they have the swinging pirate ships that have a cage on the back.
Yeah.
So you stand in them.
Yeah, fuck that.
It looks fun. It just they're all jump, land. It looks fun as hell.
You could pretend you're on a float from the Festival of Fantasy parade.
Yeah.
What's up?
In France, they have I wasn't able to find it. I'll dig deeper later or tomorrow. In France, they have those swinging pirate ships that have a cage on the back for you to stand in.
Huh.
And you see, they're riding, and when it goes down, they jump and land.
That sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen.
It does, but they're all holding on the bars. I'm like, it looks awesome. It looks fun. Knowing my luck could be a short cage, I would just hit it constantly.
They could have so much more fun rides in these countries that are less litigious than the United States.
Yes, they can. Hey, I'm sorry. There's a reason for that. How many country fairs accidents are there a year from poor maintenance? A whole lot more than I'd like to think there are.
Oh, I've seen the people who build those rides. I think you're lucky if most of them have a GED, let alone
Mm-hmm.
any sort of on-the-job engineering training. Ugh. So, I have the flower and garden lineup.
Oh yeah.
Let's have it.
So, nights 1 and 2, we have Steve Arugi, the former lead vocalist of Journey.
Okay.
Then we have Daltrey, Tommy DiCarlo, Smash Mouth, Mike Delagusi, I don't know, Blue Oyster Cult,
Ooh,
Don't fear the Reaper.
more cowbell.
Berlin, the Pointer Sisters,
Oh yeah.
They're there every year.
They're a hoot. They're a hoot.
Luis Figueroa, Paizo 21, To Be Determined,
My favorite.
Starship, featuring Mickey Thomas, Don Felder, formerly of the Eagles, another newcomer, Switchfoot,
Never heard of them.
2000s pop punk band,
Ah,
Yeah.
maybe I have them.
Flock of Seagulls, Joe Di Messina, Ambrosia, Cool and the Gang,
Jersey,
Herman.
baby.
Herman's Hermits, The Orchestra, starring former members of ELO,
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
AJ Croce, Casting Crowns, Jason Sheff, longtime lead singer of Chicago. I like how it's like one person from these
yeah.
legends.
These bands, yeah.
Rick Springfield, the Plain White Tees, the Spinners, the Commodores, Vertical Horizon.
Now wait, does the Commodores, is that also with Lionel Richie? Or just the Commodores?
Just the Commodores.
I was gonna say,
Commodores.
yeah, because if it was Lionel Richie with the Commodores, there's
That'd
no
be a
way.
different story.
That would
That's
be
a
a
headliner.
VIP experience only, like for DVC members, annual pass holders.
We don't get special treatment. Fuck that.
For anyone, no, it's a VIP. It's a VIP experience for anyone who actually stayed through with the Galactic Star
Or
Cruiser.
Cruiser, yeah, yeah.
Tony Orlando, Simple Plan,
Oh,
Living Color,
wow.
and the final act, the headliner, the big boy. Who's closing it out? The 2 days before 4th of July.
Hanson.
Everybody gonna Wang Chung tonight.
Oh,
wow.
Oh! What? That's a Universal style act. That's awesome.
Wow.
Wow, that's cool.
That's
Wang
interesting.
Chung, baby.
So Disney's starting to step up their performers,
They are. I love it. I like it.
and Universal's stepping up their festival. Did you guys see their Mardi Gras stuff that's coming out?
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you. Their food truck options, like they already announced like the food they're gonna have for Mardi Gras. They are really trying to compete against Epcot. I'll tell you what, they are going above and beyond with this food.
And they even roll it out during the park. If anyone goes down at Skull Island, they have the pizza skulls from HHN. And the coffins is the vegetarian option. So obviously, you guys know I didn't try it. But it's a coffin, a pastry filled coffin. That's rolling. They're rolling out stuff from the events. Mardi Gras, a couple of items from there last year made it out. You're right. If you go to Universal around these, the lines sometimes can be long. You gotta try the food. The rat tails I had, the funnel cake fries and creamy crab dip I had at Horror Nights was some of the best theme park food I've ever had, including table services. but it's worth it. They have all sorts of fun drinks.
Well, and the thing
The
is,
drink cups come in 2 sizes this year.
yeah. And the thing is, it's not even just Mardi Gras this year. The theme is Carnival. So the food.
No, it's actually Carnival every year.
Oh, is it Carnival? Okay, I thought it was just this year.
Mardi Gras flavors the Carnival every
Right,
year.
because it's like it's more than just New Orleans style French. Like it, I mean, they have Brazilian. They now have Indian, Japan, Indian.
If you go, Japan is in the Sting Alley by Finnegan's. They have that one alley cut through. They literally have left up the stuff from Horror Nights and just like it's a stand now.
So, but I'm impressed. I've been seeing some of the like the food. I'm like, wow, just wow.
Oh no, it's I love because they offer different things for different audiences.
Yeah, and I love it. I just love how both the entertainment companies are now like kind of going back to the whole like, you got this, well, guess what, we got this now, and they're really trying to one up each other again. I like that. Keeps us on our toes.
Sounds good. It also sounds like next week we're going to get resolution on well, they're having a special session to discuss the Reedy Creek Improvement District.
Yeah, that's I see it. There was not just a reason there. I knew there was a big reason why Bob Iger came back. This is definitely, I think, one of the reasons.
Yeah, but this is DeSantis doubling down that Disney's getting nothing.
Well, and that's why Bob Iger is probably going to step in and say, wait a second here, let's talk.
We're the biggest employer in your state.
Yeah.
We're the biggest director of tourism in your state somehow.
Let's be honest here, guys. Like when Chapek got fired, you're telling me that this was not talking around with the board, the whole thing with the Reedy Creek, and
it was,
and just
it's his response to it is what they weren't liking.
Right. That's what I meant. Like
my understanding was Josh Damaro went to literally walk out on the company.
Yeah,
and that's when Christine McCarthy
Yep.
said, "Don't leave. I'm making a phone call right now." Got Iger on the phone,
Yeah.
and the coup was playing right then and there.
Yeah.
Or so the story goes.
Yeah. This is definitely one of the big.
Oh, this has to be a huge one. And again, because why is this so big right now? When you're planning to build a fifth gate, this is the kind of thing that comes up.
Yeah.
That's why this is big. The fifth gate is 100% happening.
Yeah.
But all I'm going to say is in 5 years or so, this is going to be an interesting book to read.
It's going to be a great movie too.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Movie or documentary or something.
And just Sandler to play DeSantis.
Ooh.
Throwing it out there right now. We're talking a few years away. I'm putting that out in the world now because I want Adam Sandler to be an Academy Award-winning role. Adam Sandler, I'm giving you your award that you so deserve for your career. You are welcome, sir.
Who would play Chapek?
The guy who played Dum Dum Dugan in Captain America.
No.
I think he'd be good at it.
Wait, are you talking about Stanley Tucci?
Oh, it's Mike. No, not Stanley Tucci. No. He played Dum Dum Dugan. Oh, it's Stanley Tucci could do it. It's Michael Chiklis.
Yes, I could see that.
I could see that. Someone bald.
Not just bald. He's got a gruff attitude about it.
Yeah, he does.
I love Michael Chiklis would be the have on the other side as the villain. Michael Chiklis would be perfect.
Yeah.
Or Dave Kevin James. I hate to say it that way, but Chevy Chase is bald. We already got Sandler, but no, Michael Chiklis would be fantastic.
Yeah, I could see that.
Or Drew Carey, if Drew Carey is heavy.
I don't even know. Something about Bryan Cranston. I don't know. I maybe because of his baldness and as Walter White from Breaking Bad. I don't know. Bryan Cranston can just somehow have that like villainous pose, big corporate CEO. I mean, he played Lyndon B. Johnson really well in All the Way.
Yes, he did. That yes.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of persona, like that very dry, like very like
yeah. He could. I just think having a Chiklis who more already has a real bulliness about them. He does a different kind of it. I want also a hulking bully. I want someone with some oomph to them.
I mean, let's just answer it right now. Bob Iger's role, Tom Hanks. I mean, like that's just it's gonna happen. They'll just give it to Tom Hanks. He already played Walt. Might as well play Bob.
No.
No.
I'm kidding. I'm just thinking because of being a Disney film, about the Disney project, they would throw Tom Hanks in there because that's their golden child right now. They'll give him some role.
He'll play the spirit of Walt Disney haunting him.
There it
Actually,
is.
I think that would be it. Well, they'll be having conversations with Walt. What would you do here?
Yeah. Well,
But
that could be
what would you do
trivia.
here? And that's to Iger at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
it's just a portrait of Tom Hanks. They just recycled the portrait.
Poor Chapek's probably communicating with Card Walker. Don Tatum.
Yeah.
There we go. There's a bad president in Disney history.
You know what?
Oh man.
I just thought of something. Instead of a movie, why don't they just do like a TV series, kind of like Succession, or some sort of that type of like drama, but in the world of the Disney presidency, of just like a TV series of all of the former chair members, like an episode about Michael Eisner, and just like all these guys from the start, and just like after Walt died, like after Roy, like so basically start with Miller and go from there.
Because Disney is not ready for that level of self-deprecation yet.
I don't think it would go over well.
No, I don't think. Yeah,
Disney is not that type of company. That is the type of shit you would get out of the WWE story.
Yes.
True.
Where it's literally everybody hates everybody. Vince Sr. hated Vince. Vince hates the world. Vince retires. He's back.
That would be a good story.
Oh, it would be. So many places have tried to make. There are like 3 different Vince documentaries in the works at one point. And then all the thing with the sex scandals comes out, and everyone's like, "Oh, we have to remake the whole thing now."
See, what I really want is a 30 for 30 with Vince McMahon.
Okay.
I think they could do, if they're doing a story about Vince McMahon, I think that would be a fantastic one.
Well, not so much a 30 for 30, but what I want, and this is just wrestling storyline stuff, I want Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley to be the new APA.
Hell yeah! Or should I say, damn!
That's what I want. That's all I need in my life.
Yes! Those two got the personalities for it, too.
Has there been any update with the whole potential buyers for the WWE?
No.
Radio silence.
We'll see what happens. Vince is currently being sued by a lot of people because apparently, even though you might be the majority shareholder, blackmailing your way back into the chairmanship of the company doesn't go over well and is illegal, according to Delaware state law where they're incorporated. So, we'll see. I think there's currently 2 or 3 lawsuits in process over that. Triple H and Stephanie don't want him to sell the company. That's why Stephanie quit. Which it says a lot when you come back and your daughter quits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. That does say something about,
Apparently, there have been more threats that from the networks that Vince is not allowed to remove Triple H as in charge of creative.
Good.
Because there's been long-term storytelling.
It's just his time is come and gone. It's time to, step away, man. Your time is over. You have the spotlight. You will forever be remembered here. None of this would be possible today without Vince McMahon.
Yeah. And we just had a Royal Rumble that built stars. You have Cody Rhodes, who we can say what we want to say. He's still a mid-card guy. He's never won the big one. Technically speaking, he has won the NWA World. But you have Sami Zayn get what is, some people are saying, the biggest pop in WWE history.
That's a statement.
It's good for a while. Let's keep it that way. And Disney, buy them. What cracks me up is there's so many people that I read so many hot takes. Oh, Disney can't buy them. They're going to change everything. They're going to make it all kid-friendly and slap it on Disney Plus. And you go, you do realize Disney owns more than just like the animated movies,
Yeah.
right?
It was like when they got bust. They're going to Disneyfy it. They're going to Disneyfy it. They're going to Disneyfy it. Okay, Disneyfying it in your terms will make them lose money. The last time I checked, hold on, let me look my notes here. Yeah, Disney doesn't like to do that.
Yeah.
That's not something they're in favor of.
Whenever they lose money, they have to they quickly try to find ways to make money up. Some CEOs, they pulled wrong cards to make their money up, but they make their money up.
Yeah, they don't Disneyfy anything. They give the fans what they want, and if they don't get that, maybe it's you giving them bad feedback.
Yeah, I don't feel like Marvel's been Disneyfied since it was purchased. It's become a little bit more petty. Oh, you're not going to give us the rights to the Fantastic Four? Well, fuck you. We're going to stop making Fantastic Four comics.
Yeah.
They've become petty, but that's Disney. They're petty when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about this new Ant-Man movie coming out?
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go see it in the theaters, of course, but I can't wait for it. Definitely, I can't wait for it to. I may go see it in theaters. I love the Ant-Man movies. I think Quantumania looks fantastic. Setting up Kang, this is going to be really good.
Yeah. I haven't watched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever yet. I know it's on Disney Plus now.
I haven't watched.
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't watched it either. But people said it's good. But I've heard mixed reviews, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to sit through 2.5 hours of this movie.
I will.
Nothing wrong in trying it. I love the first one, so I love the Black Panther character. How can you go wrong?
Like I honestly, I haven't even watched Thor: Love and Thunder. Like I need to get caught up with.
I've watched most of the modern ones out of order. Still haven't watched Black Widow. But I watched Love and Thunder, then I watched Shang-Chi, and you know what? They're good. And Marvel, at least when it's a 2.5-hour movie, I feel like I know I'm going to enjoy myself for most of it.
Mm-hmm.
They're well-paced, well-written, they cast well. There's been very few offs to me. Very few movies I don't care for.
Eternals.
Yeah, because lately, I feel like the shows have actually been stepping up their A game more so than the movies. Because I started watching Love and Thunder, the opening, I want to say the first maybe 10 minutes, and I was bored. They were doing this whole backstory of Christian Bale's character, and I'm like, I don't really need this for the story. I mean, I get why they're doing it, but I'm not really. I'm not drawn to it. It didn't there wasn't. I don't know. I just didn't feel any kind of urgency to watch this film.
It's a good film.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
I liked it.
This might be Thor at his best.
Really?
It's one. I think I would, if they're going to make another one, I'd get rid of Taika Waititi at this point because I don't think this is the best Thor movie we've had. That said, because I really love Ragnarok, I think this is the peak. I think if you try again, you're gonna miss.
This is once again buff Thor, but with totally more the mentality and attitude of dude Thor.
Yeah.
Okay.
He changed this.
So
Got this,
So,
baby.
so he's pretty much a frat brother, is what he is. Like he's pretty much like a frat bro.
He's
so-
he's Muscle Lebowski. He's
Yeah.
Big Lebowski as a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So it works. I enjoy it. I think I've watched it twice.
But is it Thor 4 or is it Guardians 2.5?
Or
So
four.
I've heard so many people say, "Oh, it feels like Guardians 2." The
No.
Guardians are barely fucking in it.
Okay, that's what I wanted
Like-
to know. Okay. That's what I wanted
After-
to know.
After the first like 2 scenes, they're gone.
Okay.
I don't get why people had said that. It makes no sense to me.
People didn't see it. They were judging it by what they thought it was going to be. Like Marvel fans, when Marvel fans don't like something, that like with Captain Marvel, they don't like something and they just jackasses about it.
Yeah. I love bad takes on TikTok. And somebody was sitting there going, pissed off about Captain Marvel and Disney's wokeness and how they made Captain Marvel a female.
She always was a female.
Captain Marvel originally was a man.
Right.
Yes.
Captain Marvel
Marvel.
and Ms.
Right.
Marvel have
Marvel
always been
Who's been-
female.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
I'm like, they're not being woke. They're following it.
yeah, like even the logo and the name, like the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, that didn't bother me. I guess my only issue with the movie Captain Marvel was like,
The Flurkin. Fucking Flurkin.
I mean, that was sort of kind of like the icing on the cake for me.
Fucking Flurkin. I had multiple friends see it and didn't warn me. I texted one of my best friends, Alyssa. I texted her right away. I said, "You what? You are supposed to protect me." And it's just right. She knew it said, crap. You saw the Captain Marvel, didn't you?" It's like, you promised.
Fucking Flurkin.
Fucking Flurkin. Great character though. Too love the Flurkins.
Yes.
Cried a tear. Fucking
You have just inspired me to my newest insult. Your hair looks like a Flurkin Merkin.
Love it.
No, but I guess my issue though with Captain Marvel was like, I don't know, like it just I don't know. Like, I just feel like
Lack
the
of an
time.
eye patch.
Well, that too, but I liked the whole de-aging of Samuel L. Jackson, but it was just I felt like they were the story wasn't lining up. Like I felt like there was some plot points were missing. Like it just was jumping. Like you start off with her not getting her powers, female Top Gun style storyline, and then all of a sudden, like, okay, like almost as if like, why do they even have the backstory for the
To
first?
show her memories. Because remember, nope, this memory is too far. Keep going. No, we're looking because they're looking for her. They're looking for Marvel. That's what
Okay,
they're looking for. That she was the one. That's the alien race. That's what they're looking for. That's why they're showing it.
okay.
It wasn't out of order, and that's why that's actually in the past. She didn't know that.
Oh, well, that makes a lot more sense then. Because I'm just like watching it, like thinking of like this is our first time introducing to this character, so like kind of like Iron Man, where you kind of have this first film where it's like the whole character development of how he becomes Iron Man. It's kind of hoping to get that in Captain Marvel. I don't know, like to me,
You
Captain
did
Marvel.
get that. It just doesn't make full sense.
Yeah,
Because it's not anything where powers are suddenly bestowed upon you. It's not the story like Tony Stark making something.
Yeah, we had to
True.
fight his way back. It's I'm okay with how they did it. I don't like having I like having we can just have these characters exist because we always don't need constant origin stories where every new
Yeah,
character is
right.
going to have one. That DC, I like what they're doing. They're not doing origin stories for the most part. They're just making movies now.
right.
Because we know them all.
Well, no, I mean the big ones, yes, but like some people may not know Captain Marvel. Like I
Yeah,
thought
but
maybe
you can have flashbacks told at some point. You can have mentions of a previous life. You could just accept that, yeah, they existed before, but hear them now, get to know them.
well, I think I'm also looking at it as I mean it works, but I'm thinking like maybe Captain Marvel should have been one of the TV shows.
No,
E-
she's too integral.
mm,
Then you'd have to have another superhero there. The way they have her, she's just one of the two integral parts of everything.
And
Just like the when Fantastic Four come about, but then the X-Men coming in, we're now getting
True.
all the integral components
True.
of
Yeah. Yeah.
the Avengers always have some of these mixed in.
Yeah, that's true.
also, there's one key factor that separates a TV show from a movie, and that is the amount of special effects required to pull off the character.
That's why Ms. Marvel
Right.
was because you could do different things with Embiggen and her powers.
Now, is the Marvels, is that going to be a movie or is that a TV show?
Movie.
That's going to be the movie. Okay.
But Ms. Marvel directly ties in.
10, right. Because it's all three Marvels. It's
America Chavez,
Chavez.
Ms. Marvel,
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
But I thought what's her face from Multiverse of Madness is going to make an appearance too.
America
Chavez.
Chavez.
No. Rambeau or whatever the
Monica
black,
Rambeau.
Yeah.
Yes, no, she's involved, but she's not like a Marvel character. Those are the Marvels. She's part of that universe, but she's not a Marvel.
Okay.
She's in the movie, but it's not about her because how she got her powers is not how the Marvels got their powers.
Right, but she's Captain Marvel. They're just in another universe, though.
They're going to use the Monica Rambeau from this universe.
Yeah.
616.
Oh!
No, this is the Monica Rambeau from WandaVision.
Yeah.
From that's this Rambeau. I thought they were using the Rambeau from Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, where she was part of the Illuminati.
No. No.
Okay.
I do not be surprised if you never see any of those Illuminati again.
That was just a one-off for the okay.
That's a Sam Raimi one-off for the movie.
So whenever they do the Fantastic Four, we're not going to get a John Krasinski.
It's not that we won't get that, but he won't be if he is, he's the different one. He's not that one.
Yeah.
He's not. The Illuminati only exists there.
Okay.
You can still look the same, but be
different. Okay.
Just like, we saw Baron Mordo there. He looks like Baron Mordo, but it's a different Baron Mordo.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not happening.
So where's our Baron Mordo then? If that wasn't
on Earth. Still doing his stuff, still fighting wizards and warlocks and shit, trying to eventually take down the Sorcerer Supreme. So I don't know how he's taking out Wong.
Yeah, because we had that tease at the end of Doctor Strange 1 where he took the guy's ability to walk away from him.
That was setting up Mordo. I do think Mordo will come into play soon. He actually would fit with the Kang storyline character as a villain as the other villain for Doctor Strange. After Multiverse of Madness, that's where I thought they would go. Is Mordo would be the next logical step.
So I think before we see Mordo take on Strange, I don't know why I feel him appearing somewhere in the realm of Shang-Chi.
That's entirely possible.
Yeah, I could see that, especially if they introduce Wong to Shang-Chi. Yeah, absolutely.
They are technically already did.
Yeah.
So that's where I think we'll see more. I think that will bring Strange to fight Mordo, but I think we will see him introduced there first.
Certainly reintroduced there. Certainly.
How cool would it be now? This might be not as creative because it might just be kind of like in Endgame 2.0. But for the Kang Dynasty films, how badass would it be if Kang's big motive is to cross the multiverses by grabbing all of the classic villains that we knew from all the like past Marvel films, bring back the actors portraying those characters, but it's in another universe version of those characters. And
It's
the
entirely
villain,
it's entirely possible.
you know what I mean? Like, and Kang teams up with
Yeah.
all these villains and make his own Avengers, but they're all villains to go against the Avengers and their rivals.
Yes and no. With the Kang Dynasty, that wouldn't be the way it works. Because remember, it's all the Kangs fighting each other.
Right.
If they got Avengers together, it'd be to fight the other Kangs, not the Avengers.
Okay.
The Avengers are there trying to be referees pulling them apart.
The Avengers are taking the war to them, but it's all the Kangs fighting all the Avengers against all the Kangs. There wouldn't be we have ours to fight you off. It's if I got mine, kill the Kangs.
It would be a Royal Rumble.
Yeah, that we're just gonna have. That's what the whatever they call the last one left in Loki. That's where he kind of we all fought each other. Giant war. We all fought each other. Anyone who got in our way of this fight got squashed.
Right. So that could be his motive. He could probably start another Kang war where the Avengers have to
Kang war's coming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's why a Kang we're meeting here in Ant-Man that's what they've already said. That's not the one that was left. This is the actual. That one who was left is over with everything. This is a very angry time travel. We see him with the time travel chair. This is a very angry Kang.
But this will not be the big Kang at the end of the whole story. This is just one.
It could be. Maybe. It could be the big Kang. We don't know yet. They could announce all of them. We all think it's one Kang, and then we find out, oh my gosh, no, it's different ones. There's been 3 different ones. Turns out there's 800 different ones, but this is Kang. This one's always been Kang Prime.
I want to know who pulled strings in Marvel that sat there and went, yeah, Ant-Man movies are going to be the linchpins.
Somebody has to love Ant-Man as their favorite. Somebody out there has to.
It's like,
Ant-Man. Well, here's what's crazy. Apparently now this Avengers attraction out in Disneyland, it's still on the. At first it was going to be Wakanda. Well, now apparently, and it's funny you should say this because now the rumor has it is that it's tied into the quantum realm. That because it's this simulator style attraction, and all I'm picturing is, oh my god, it's Body Wars. Where you're in this Star Tours style vehicle and you get stuck into the quantum realm, and you're now part of with the Avengers in the quantum realm. But the villain that they said, because he's coming back, Josh Brolin's coming back to play a version of Thanos.
Love it.
In this ride, but he's called Thanos Prime. He's got this crown that has all of the stones in it, and it's a brand new character that they're creating for this attraction. It is a what if scenario that what if Thanos won the Infinity War, and it's this Thanos in this alternate timeline that actually won the war against the Avengers, and now I guess the Avengers have to stop this guy because he now wants to take on. He's in our 616 universe, and we have to team up with the Avengers to take this Thanos down. But I guess it takes place in the quantum realm, which I'm like, these people are just really throwing everything out there to try to make something work.
Hey, remember, somehow the Marvel restaurant on the Disney cruise ships Ant-Man themed as well.
Actually, there's a lot of the food. There's a whole Ant-Man quantum kitchen out at Disneyland.
Well, yeah, I mean, they even have the web slingers. They have this, and the storyline is basically that our Avengers campus is actually not 616 MCU. It's another multiverse, and that's why they're all coming together in our theme park, because you have at the web slingers, the backstory is that Iron Man never died. because he talks to, like, in the ride, he communicates with Tony Stark sometimes, and you hear Tony Stark's voice on the ride, like Iron Man and all this stuff. Or in, like, actually, I think it's in the pre-show. There's a moment in the pre-show where Tom Holland's Peter Parker is creating the spider bots, and like they all go haywire, and it's like calling Tony Stark, and he's like, no, don't call Tony. And like Tony gets on the phone, he's like, hey kid, what's going on? He's like, oh, nothing, everything's all right here. He's like, you sure? He's like, yeah, like,
Yeah, fine, goodbye.
right. So we're in this world at Avengers Campus where it's a world where Iron Man never sacrificed his life, but then they have a ride at the Avengers compound where it's going to be possibly some sort of quantum realm attraction where it's prime Thanos to a alternate timeline Thanos where he won the Infinity War, and he's now in this realm, wanting to do his mission again, except wipe out half of humanity in our world. So I don't know what kind of ride system or what kind of like. I don't know. I don't know if they're maybe thinking doing some sort of augmented reality because it's in our world. I don't know. I don't know what they have game planned, but yeah, should be interesting.
Interesting. I like it
because they're talking about, because of Mario with augmented reality, they're like, maybe we should do something with that, but do some sort of I don't. Yeah.
Don't copy that. That only works for that particular attraction to make it better.
Yeah.
To make it an attraction.
Just keep it simple. Like if they want to do a multiverse, just do like a Star Tour style multiverse attraction where it can be rewritable and you can go into different like multiverse scenes of like different types of worlds in the Marvel universe, kind of like Spider-Man or Doctor Strange when they go through those multiple universes.
I would make it more of actually a Spider-Man attraction. Not Body Wars kind of simulator. I would make it more of an actual just Spider-Man attraction.
But they're doing like it's the Avengers like
no. Spider-Man at Universal.
I see what you mean. I got you.
Spider-Man Transformers.
I got you. Yeah. That kind of ride system.
I think that would work real well. I think that would be the perfect kind of thing. You can have the you don't have to, you could change, you could make it where you can change them out with videos and everything, but you have your scenes, you have your props to build to make it look good, Ratatouille style and everything.
Yeah.
So what you do, and I'm going big brain here. So you have you say you have 9 different videos things to do. But in addition to that, there are 3 separate tracks of physical props.
Ooh.
One, you're increasing capacity.
Yeah.
And 2, you're increasing randomness because you're not going to know which track you're going to get or which videos you're going to get.
Right.
I like it.
I do what I can. They're not going to do it.
Never. Makes too much sense.
Or do like an Indiana Jones take where they make you think you're going in like the 3 different doors.
No. I want different physical sets.
Yeah.
And that would be the easiest way to do it without having too much shit that can break.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you don't use a tracked ride.
No.
So that you can change up the movements easily.
Mm-hmm.
Trackless would be the way to go. I feel like that's the new norm anyway.
Well, yeah, less infrastructure. Plus, it always takes you out of the immersion when you look down and see the track.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. And I think California Adventure would need something similar. Yeah, because you're right, because now that Disneyland has Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, they have the same 2 ride systems in that park. Wouldn't be surprised if they either do something similar or step up their A game and do something different or better.
Take off of the idea.
Yeah.
And also just make it super, super immersive.
Well, I think that's the game plan. They wanted to make it like their big e-ticket attraction.
Yeah.
and they're just right now. I mean, obviously, COVID took a toll because they announced this attraction before COVID. This was like when they announced like Tron and all that stuff. They're like, hey, this is coming. This is the next phase for the Marvel land. And then COVID happened. They're just like, yeah, this is something big that we can't afford right now.
Actually, it wasn't that far delayed though. It really wasn't.
Really?
What they started doing, it really wasn't. If you think about it, technically they built it almost as fast. What they built already is almost as fast as Tron.
True. I mean,
faster than Tron.
Yeah, that's true because the facade's there. They just
already had Guardians built. You just had to take down the bugs that you can build the infrastructure, and then you always want to have room to add another attraction. So you don't want to have it work to having the way they did it.
Yeah, you're right because the infrastructure and then the facade's already built, like the exterior is already there. So all you have to do is just
and the way the movies and everything go, you can evolve it.
Yeah,
you don't want to have something too early, too timely.
That's true. And I think they want to have that to kind of keep the fan base going because of all the shows and the films that are out now. I don't think they want to be because I think that's another nothing against the Galaxy's Edge, but I think that was probably a mistake on their part because they were solely set on it being in the new trilogy when Disney it's not. If they did a Star Wars land that was overall a love letter to the franchise, like Harry Potter, that it's not just, Hogwarts. It's the whole wizarding world because you get to experience everything. So with Star Wars Land, it's like, yeah, they created Batuu to create your own original story, but it's still in the episode 7, 8, 9 universe. The rides are still in 7, 8, 9. So it's like, it's not.
I'm curious because they actually have a VR gaming for the PSVR 2 coming, a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge game. And I don't know if it ties into the park section of Batuu. I really want to look into it.
Right.
I bet you in some way it ties into the bounty hunting game.
That's what I would think.
That's what I'm thinking.
The biggest thing is, you know what they should have just built? Because it's what everybody really wanted. Just build Tatooine.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody knows. That is the one location in all three trilogies, more or less. It needs to be Tatooine.
You have a bigger version of the tavern because the tavern currently is the original Ollivanders. Now we need the Diagon Alley Ollivanders to open.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one time they went, yeah, I'm sorry, JK. We need space.
Yeah, that was. And I remember when Harry Potter first came out because I felt like that Ollivanders was out of place for Hogsmeade because it was like, no, Ollivanders is at Diagon Alley.
They wanted to include it. My understanding is this is a JK said it's happening, and we said JK gets what JK wants situation.
And you kind of need to have Ollivanders wand shop somewhere in the park because of, it's Ollivanders. It's where you get your wand.
Money.
Exactly. So, yeah, they had to put it somewhere for their first phase.
I also understand part of the issue was, as rumors go, that she was doing things just to see if they would do it and then but not changing it. Now realizing, I should change it now. I want it to be this size because that's how it would be in the book. And sure, that's the rumor going in is she didn't actually necessarily want that, but it was too late she didn't want to go back on what she already said because then she didn't want to look soft. It was like, okay, well, I got what I want. I'm keeping going forward.
Right.
And canonically speaking, a small wand shop in Hogsmeade makes sense.
Yeah.
Because she made everything else to that scale.
Well, also, Ollivanders wasn't there. Well, yeah, but a wand shop would be there because you'd have students who break their wands.
Yeah, so you need to have something. Yeah, absolutely.
And no, when Ron broke his, he could have went there and bought one, but remember, his family was poor somehow.
Ministry of Magic don't pay much.
Well, hey, and I think it's also funny too that in addition to in the Hogsmeade, because I love the Harry Potter area, but for some reason, like that Hogsmeade is just so crowded to move around.
because
Especially
of how she built it.
yeah, and not only that too, but ever since they put Hagrid's motorbike adventure there and how long that queue can get, it really like blocks a lot of pathways and road.
How about the dead area where the test seat is? There's a dead courtyard of nothing you can't even get to because it's blocked off. It's for the attraction. It's just like there's a dead courtyard.
Well,
And
and just even that area where the owls would hang out in the in the roof of the that used to just be a picnic area, like just
Yeah.
tables that you just got to just sit there and just kind of like relax for 5 minutes.
and the lockers for Dragon Challenge.
And that's now all a queue. That's now all basically you can still sit there in the gallery with the post office area.
It was
but you,
all of the Dueling Dragons area, which was all of that was Dueling Dragons. That was a Dueling Dragons seating area.
Yeah.
That was all considered Dueling Dragons, and they used all that property.
Yeah, no. So just the layout. But what's funny though is that because of how small Ollivanders is, and there's a line waiting outside to go in, right outside of Ollivanders, I shit you not, is a cart, like a horse and buggy cart with fucking wands outside. The people, it's like they're everywhere. The wands are everywhere.
They're at the gift shop at the front of the park. They're at every gift shop. The point is to sell them. It used to be a special guest certificate,
right?
No one cares. They just want the wand. They don't want Ollivander doesn't have to pick them.
Like when the park first opened, like you had to go to that Ollivander's wand shop to get your wand.
But again, JK.
Yeah. I mean, like, yes, the gift shop at the front of the park had some wands, but it was only like Harry's, Hermione. Like, it wasn't like they only had maybe 6 or 7 to choose from. They didn't have the whole library in Ollivanders to choose from.
They just didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Well, remember, had never been there, but it sounds not that different than how Disney handles the lightsabers. You can make your lightsaber, or you can just go to the shop and buy one of the legend lightsabers.
Speaking of lightsabers, did you see the price now?
No.
How much did you pay for yours?
I don't remember.
Was it 200 plus tax?
That might very well be it.
Yeah, it's 250 now plus tax. So with tax, you're about racking in close to 279.
It's a luxury experience, I guess.
Well, I don't know. I think it might also because with working in trucking right now and shipping, we are in a recession. I think it's also regarding ordering parts and shipping them in.
Certainly could be.
I mean, yes, I think it is. I think part of it is inflation. Maybe Disney is a little greedy-ish to make their money up from the pandemic, still recovering. But I think it is mostly probably from the shipping and ordering parts.
I hate to defend Disney, but if it is still consistently selling out months in advance, and you can't easily increase the amount you're doing,
right?
How else are you limiting it? Price.
Yeah. And
price, supply and demand, it's a limiting factor, and utilize it. I hate to say that.
Well, and not only that too, and they are utilizing it because all the parts are brand new. Like this is like the second edition of the Savi's Workshop parts. So all of the lightsabers are completely new pieces for all 4 brands to choose from. I mean, the parts look sharp, but I don't know that extra like
they also get around it because everything's going up in price everywhere.
Yeah.
So this is something easy for Disney. They're already rolling it out new. We can roll it a new price. It weeds out some people. Maybe they have too many cancellations of okay, we have to do something. Either we're going to charge you if you don't show up, or we may add on $50. I bet you don't. I bet you don't even try now.
And honestly, though, but when people, I mean, yeah, they hear that price, but when they go to Savi's to look at the legacy lightsabers, they're all the same. They range from 200 to 300. So for 250, for 250, it's not really a big price difference.
But at the same time, I think it's more for somebody casually who might just be doing it, who doesn't know,
Right.
signs up and complains about it. That's what it could be for. Because for the most part, if you know you're going to buy one, you're right, and that's how much they cost, I would just sign up and do it. Most people are going to buy one. They want to sign up and do it.
Right, exactly.
That's the appeal. Yeah, you're a casual fan. I'll just grab one. That's perfect. I was going to pay that anyway.
Right. But yeah, you're right for that kind of money. I think what they really should also, and I don't know if it was you or Dozer that came up with, I think it was you that said it on the last podcast about the pin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have the pin. You should be able to buy replacement parts for your model.
Yeah, I think that would be a great idea for them to market that
pin
shit.
and a card. You have to have one of them. You have a pin. You don't have your pin. Let me see the card.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously there'll be then people selling them on, but who cares? You're still selling the parts.
Yeah, and charge $15 a piece. I mean, like, well, not per piece, but like per part. So like,
yeah, no, I'm 25.
Isn't it 4? Oh, yeah.
So you'd have the 4 parts. 4 parts you could easily replace. They'd be the parts. I'm going to value the rest of the thing at 100 of the plastic piece of the shaft.
Right.
So yeah,
that would make sense because the Kyber crystals are 15 a piece. So yeah, the individual parts I could see for 25.
Plus, you want to make it enough that you just don't have somebody go there and buy all the parts.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they're not going to sell the plastic thing you put it around.
And also, granted, that means to get in, unless they bought the card on eBay or something, they had to pay to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
So, but you never know. Nor do I care. Because I'm not going to build one again.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to.
Wait, I say that. I have a 4-year-old. I may very well build another one again. I don't know. Maybe she'll hate Star Wars. She likes Mando, though, so.
Yeah, they need to bring him to, they need to bring him to Florida. The hell's this bullshit? Him only in California.
This is the way. See what I did there?
I know.
I did. Some of the California-only bullshit does piss me off.
Yeah. But we're finally getting the Hatbox Ghosts.
Eventually.
So
not soon enough for my liking, but yes.
Me too. But eventually we'll probably get manned. Because here's the other thing. They just started this new like app game to do in Galaxy's Edge about bounty hunter survival or something like that. Like you go, it's still like the data pad scanning like the QR codes around like crates and all this stuff, but it's an interactive game where it's like this tracker where you go around and try to find the hunt. Like why not actually have Mando there to like report back to and be involved with the kids or something, you know, like,
because now you have added an expense to something that is basically free to operate.
Well, I mean, Ray does that sometimes too, where like the character Ray will go around and like get involved with the kids.
Face character versus somebody in a helmet. Helmet can only be out so long.
But then again, Mando's taken his helmet off a few times in the show.
In extreme circumstances.
True, I know.
He's not supposed to, and everybody knows that. Unless you had him at an inside out post where he could be a different actor rotating in and out. Even and still, you have an actor who's spieling. Face actor who's spieling, and it's even if you have him in a little circle.
All right, so not Mando. What about Bo? What about what's her face?
Bo-Katan?
Yeah.
Why would she be?
She doesn't have her helmet on.
Yeah, but why would she be there?
Actually, Ahsoka would be easy to make.
That's what I was even thinking too. Is Ahsoka?
Ahsoka could easily be there.
I was just thinking for bounty hunters, something for like the bounty hunter.
Ahsoka could be working for Mandalorian,
that's
where he can call, and then you can have him call in.
Ooh,
you can have him call in and do things, get interactive with it.
Yeah,
that would actually make a lot more sense with the balance, especially with the way Galaxy Edges run with having the resistance and everything. It would make a lot more sense not to have a bounty hunter standing out in the open.
let's just keep in mind also, Florida is much less cool with just characters walking around.
Yes.
Like, Galaxy's Edge is the only place that happens. And it's still much less frequent than it is in California.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned having something like almost an inside shop that the Mandalorians only hear these times throughout a day, and you have a character meet and greet almost.
Well, I mean, they still have Launch Bay.
For some reason.
I know, which is weird, but I mean, they still have it, so maybe that's where they'll just bring Mando for that then. Because we walked, I mean, it's crazy because like we walked in there, they still have like the meet and greet line queue set up in the like for Vader, BB-8, and Chewbacca. Like it's all there.
Oh yeah. Why
Great.
spend the money and taking it apart if you don't need to?
Great.
That place has always been a meet and greet.
And great place for shade. I'm just like thinking, well, if the Mandalorian is, or oh no. I was just thinking like, what if, now this is down the road, but what if that launch bay would be the way for them to introduce the Marvel characters? Now this is down the road if they coincide with some sort of deal with Universal.
Keep dreaming on that. We've been dreaming for what, 20 years at this point?
We're not far off. It's coming.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking like,
oh, it's coming. You think about this, it's coming after they rebuilt the Hulk. And it's still coming. Obviously, just retheming it, but still, it's like,
right.
We rebuilt you. We used one of your old trains in the artwork outside, and you're still replacing me.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like not the big Avengers, but like these newer Marvel characters that Disney would technically have the license for.
I think they could do whatever they want.
Yeah,
it's a good way to introduce sometime, but you have to see who's popular. Disney has made this folly many times, with especially one of the biggest two, Pirates of the Caribbean, with the one after Johnny Depp was out of it. They had these random characters. The movie hadn't come out yet, and they're trying to promote it, and they'd be the people that didn't know who they were. Another of the biggest follies, Anna and Elsa were out way ahead of the release and popularity of the movie, but they were still the lines. They felt my friends were dating. Do you guys finish each other's sandwich? And but it didn't make sense because it's like, this is for anybody to do, but it's like, no one makes sense of this. You have done this too early. That's the other risk of it, is having, who is this and why do I care? Now, the Marvel characters are a lot more well-known, so it could just be a fan thing of, oh, wow.
But Ms. Marvel has no appeal to most people.
New Jersey's finest appeals to everybody, sir.
Appeals to people who like New Jersey.
Appeals to everybody. Kamala Khan is an American hero. Even though she's not American,
what about the other 49 states?
Because like I just had this really cool like vision in my head where Launch Bay could pretty much be like Shield, just
no.
Or no, well, no, I mean, because they can't use they can't use the logo Marvel to advertise. Because like,
but again, we're talking picture a world soon where you can.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking like
you're thinking of having it ready to go for that. Yes,
right. While Universal still has the Marvel attractions.
Dream big. Because
Avengers Tower next to Tower of Terror.
Hold on. Didn't an attraction just die right there too? Oh yeah, it's something did.
Mermaid.
There's space, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that whole courtyard area back there.
What doesn't always do? Oh, Disney Junior stuff doesn't really do well.
That could be a nice little Marvel land. I'm just saying, like Avengers Campus for Florida. Just saying.
If it happens, that is where it's happening.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say Avengers Campus necessarily, but you could like calling it Avengers Campus. Like, you know what I mean? Yes, same idea, but not calling it Avengers Campus.
Right.
You could easily do a
right. That's what I'm saying.
Shield,
like
this could
like
be a Shield training center.
That's what I was trying to suggest.
Or
like
a Shield Star and Shield and
something that coincides with their story that they want to tell for Marvel, because these Avengers,
it's easily to keep it in favor without getting stale. You can rotate as many people in and out as you need around.
exactly, because like with Avengers Campus in California, that's connected to the Nova Corps in Epcot. Like there's a map out there that all of these Marvel pop-up lands or
and it would make sense
references.
if Nova Corps is there to have a land base nearby of Shield and Star.
Exactly, like Star Labs or like a Stark Expo, something that's
Star. That would be the Flash.
what?
Star Labs.
Oh, Star Labs.
Labs.
Oh my God. Oh,
I'm like, no, not Star Labs.
yeah, that's the
Stark
Flash.
Labs. Yes.
Stark Labs. Yeah, Star Labs is the Flash. You're right. That would be cool too. That would be
We'd be
really
down for that. But yeah, you're right. You have all sorts of things. It could be Oscorp. It could be Oz. You could have this building's Oscorp, this building's whatever. Pick universe. Because Oscorp's another one that ties to most of the ones on the planet.
Yeah.
You can build the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Or just do what everybody really wants in this world. Build Castle Von Doom.
Yes.
Everyone really wants.
That would be cool.
We don't count what happened. We don't count Fearfall. Fearfall doesn't count. I want the actual thing. I want a castle.
Fearfall is a terrible attraction.
The theming is awesome.
Yeah.
I've never seen a drop tower that loads so slow.
Because they want to make it seem like it has a line. World's slowest drop tower. Still 5-minute wait.
The only thing in Marvel Superhero Island I wish I would give anything to go back in time and do is Islands of Fear, to do the Carnage Warehouse house, seeing the dead Marvel villains at Universal. That's bucket list shit right there.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Agreed. But you know what? I'm calling it.
Yeah.
I'm calling it, guys. We're calling it a night because, we're the Dis-Idiots.
So you don't
You don't have to be.